Welcome to Feedback4Performance mobile app for leaders who excel or who crave to excel. Before I start, let me share two thoughts. One from Mario Andretti, champion race car driver. If everything seems under control, you are just not going fast enough. And the second one from me, positive, affirmative feedback and praise makes people happy, but what's more, makes people fly. Don't hold it back. Just don't hold it back when there is space for it. This presentation is about Feedback4Performance, which is currently available in App Store. Works for iPhones and iPads. Within a couple of months, it will be available on Windows mobile platform too. Feedback4Performance Pro. This is the commercial, customized version not covered by this presentation. It is available and will be available in 2015 for companies who will be willing to customize the app for their own specific needs. What is it? As I mentioned before, this is mobile app for leaders, team managers. Could be you. This is also for team coaches and sport coaches. Feedback4Performance will, if used in the right way, will mobilize you to intelligent performance management of your people through smart feedback, or better, through smart feedback allocation across your team. Because the feedback giving skill is one thing, and feedback allocation skill is something different. And to allocate this better, you need this tool. Why? You will get improved performance of functional, trans-functional teams, whatever teams you lead, manage. You will lower costs of your team, operating costs, via thwarting conflict potential. It will be less delays, less mistakes, less task doubling or doubling tasks, and the most important out of the three, you will raise your high potentials retention. You will raise high potentials retention. High potentials will be more willing to stay with you. And this is probably, from strategic viewpoint, one of the most important benefits you will gain from using this app. How it works? The Excel screen, the dashboard screen, the screen you will see most often use. This is the screen which will give you, in a synthetic way, the key information for your decision making regarding the feedback allocation. It is the inspiration for this screen comes from race car dashboard. As you must probably know, there is very few information on the race car dashboard, usually 2 or 3 gauges. The point is to give you as much data as you need, but no more. Because your time is limited, you have to be swift with decision making. And today's leaders have not too much time. So you have limited time. So the point is to be swift in reading what the application communicates to you. What the gauges mean in this application, the explanation of this dashboard screen will come later on, because it is important for you to know the whole thing, the whole concept, the whole logic of the app, to focus and to understand better the gauges, the information coming from the dashboard screen. So let me come back to this later on. First of all, let me show you almost all the screens on one slide, or in one slide. First two screens, as you see, very common one, common image, the screen of your phone. Wherever you will position the icon of Feedback for Performance, it will sit there. Sometimes the icon will generate the notification in as a red dot on top right corner of the icon. This will mean to you that the app has something to say, to advise you. In such a case, you can scroll down your screen and have notification lists generated by your operating system in your iPhone, and there you will have a chance to read the notifications. The starting screen, this is the screen you will enter your password anytime or every time you will open the app. The point is to make the data, the information you hold there safer. The theme screen, this is the second most often visited screen. This is the screen where you will have all your team members visualized, listed for the purpose of registering the feedback you will give to them. More later on. Similar screen about your peers. You'll have a chance to have a list of your peers, and on a separate screen you'll have the possibility to see, to monitor your own activity, your own feedback activity concerning peer stakeholders. Edit person. Any person from your team and belonging to your peers, the data about the person can be edited anytime. Obviously, you will have to enter the data about all the people you want to have in the app before you start using the app. Feedback added confirmation. Anytime you will add feedback by swiping the finger in the right way through the screen, the app will confirm that the feedback was registered. Feedback list. Again, anytime you want, you can see all your feedback activities in form of a list organized by time. You can filter the feedbacks any way you want, depending on how or for what are you going to use the information. It could be used, for example, filtered in a specific way at the time you will have monthly, quarterly, half a year performance conversation. The next one, notification. As I mentioned, the app will try to give you information, to draw your attention in several ways. You will have the red dot on the Feedback for Performance icon. You will have it in scroll down list of notifications, and you will have information on the dashboard about things the app suggests you to change in your feedback allocation behavior. Then feedback, about feedback list again, edit feedback screen. Any feedback item you have registered, you can edit anytime you want. Usually it works like this. After giving feedback to someone, on the way back to your cube, to your office, you just register the fact by swiping the finger across the screen, and then in the first free moment, the first minute it usually is useless for you, the moment you can allocate for your feedback registering, you just open the feedback you are interested in and you edit the content. How, what to write down, to type down later on. Behaviors menu. Inside the app, you will have a functionality of building your own behaviors menu for the purpose of using the menu when you will edit your feedbacks. So the better, the more quality time, quality effort you invest in building your behaviors menu, behaviors you really want to use for your team members, for their development, just do this before. The better you do this, the easier it will be later on to add content to your feedback items. And something very interesting, second stage feedback reminder. What it is, let me explain later when I'll focus on this particular screen. Start screen. Nothing fancy, just enter access code. My recommendation is make it short. In my case, I use one letter. The point is to limit the chance that someone will mess up with your data. On the other hand, what's probably more important, to prevent you trouble when you forget your access code. When you forget the access code, the only thing you can do is just delete the app and then download the new one. The point is that you will lose all your data with the app because all your feedback data sits in your phone. This makes sense because for some of the feedback information may be confidential, so this is important that in this free of charge version, the only place where the data sits is your phone, and the phone is not communicating, transferring the data anywhere. So be careful about your access code. Team screen. When you enter your team members one by one, how in a few moments, you will have a list of your team members. At this stage, the most important element or idea or concept about this list is that this makes huge sense. What is the relative position of team members on the list? You see on the left side an arrow pointing to the top of the screen. The arrow is the visualization of relative contribution of your team members, relative net present contribution. So the more a given team member contributes to your team goals, to their own goals, you just place this person higher and higher on the list. So Margaret Challenger in this case is someone who contributes most to your team goals. How to do this? There is a little icon in the middle of the screen. On top of this, there are three humanoids like ghosts. You just touch this button, and then on the right side of the screen, some additional buttons will appear, and you can use these buttons to draw anyone up or down the list. And you can do this anytime. The point is that this decision where to place the team members on the list is absolutely crucial for the app to provide you with the right advices in the future. This has nothing to do with judging people. This is everything to do, or all to do, with the contribution to your team goals right now. Peers. You can place a position or have your peers in separate list in the app for the purpose of recording the feedback. The important thing is that the dust screen information has nothing to do with the feedback you give to your peers. The gauges, the information, the feedback allocation algorithms works only with your team members list. Edit person screen. Obviously, before you start giving feedback, you have to have someone to give the feedback to. So you have to edit everyone, every member of the team. So what you do, you may choose an icon which will easily visualize or remind you about the team member. You can use photograph from your photo album, or you can make a photo right now. You choose if this is team member or your peer stakeholder, and then you enter first name, last name. Entering first letter of the first name and first letter of last name is quite enough. Then you enter the first and the second goal, or first goal, or whatever goal you have, developmental goal for a given person. This will help you recollect the goals the moment you will prepare yourself to give feedback to a given person. And then you push or tap save and move to the next person. And you repeat this as many times as you have all your team members recorded in the app. Add feedback screen. Anytime you record the fact of feedback given, imagine that you go to someone's cube, you give affirmative, positive feedback about something the person did. You leave the cube, you move your finger from left to right on the lever, for example, of King a Smooth Glider, and then the app will record the fact that today you gave the positive feedback. Then anytime in the future you can add additional information. The point is to make it shortcut recording functionality. In most of such cases, there is no time to sit down and type down the content. You just record the fact. So you can record the fact of giving feedback from the screen of your team, or from the peer screen, or you can do the same using the dashboard screen on the right bottom in the slide. You just slide from left to right on the level of the green arrow, or from right to left on the level of red arrow, and then you obviously choose from the list the person you gave this affirmative or corrective feedback, and then in the future you can edit the feedback. Feedback list screen. Anytime you can open the to activate the feedback list screen and see all the feedbacks in chronological order displayed. You can tap any feedback you want, any item you want, and then you can edit this. You can filter the feedbacks anytime you want, by person, by status, complete feedback, incomplete. Incomplete feedback is feedback where the kind of feedback you have had no time to edit this. Only the fact of feedback given is recorded. Notification screen. As I mentioned, I said about notifications about notifications several times before, these 2 times, but you can have on the bottom right side of the screen an envelope, which when you tap by your finger the envelope, you will have the notification displayed. In this case, the app suggests you to feedback your team, because you just you rate your average number of feedbacks per person per week in the last period. Last week in this case is less than 1 per person per week, and it is not enough to make people performance eagles. There are some other kinds of notifications you can receive from your app. Another one is that the app may say to you that you need to focus on a particular person, when the app will notice that you are not giving feedback, or omit someone. And the third scenario is that the app will advise you to focus more on your top high performance, the top contributors, especially when you will devote too much time to your lower 2/4 contributors. Edit feedback screen. As I mentioned before, you can open any feedback item anytime you want from feedback list by tapping the item by your finger. So you can edit feedback date and event date, especially in situations when you know that your feedback was given sometimes in a different time that it is being recorded. You can edit, you can choose behavior from your list. If you have no behaviors in your list, the first time you tap choose behavior item, you will have a chance to edit the behavior, and the edited behavior and saved behavior will stay in your menu for the future use. You can edit impact of feedback, and most importantly, you can edit feed forward of things you agreed employee or a team member will try to do different next time. You will do, he or she will do different next time, or promise to do different next time, or said he or she will not do anything right now, or only think about this. Because next time you will have performance conversation with this person, you will see this, and you will have a chance to refer to the things you agreed with the feedback receiver at the time of this feedback. Behaviors menu. In your version, your free version, behaviors menu is empty. So you can build it by yourself. This is just an example. On the left side, you have behavior categories. As you see, you can have less or more. This is up to you. On the right side, this is an example of work product category behaviors list. So this is development of work product category, which you see on the left. So there are 4 different behaviors. And the arrows show that this is going to be positive behavior, positively judged by you, or negative, or behavior with negative impact. For example, if you want to record that someone reported task completion at the right time effectively, you just use this task completion reporting item with the arrow up. If you record corrective feedback about someone not reporting task completion or not doing this effectively, then you use the same this behavior item with the arrow down. And again, up to you what you will put here in your own behaviors menu. This is not a promise, but just prediction. Most probably in this year, there will be possibility to have in-app purchasing option, you will have an option to purchase behaviors categories and general behaviors and behavior categories just to start with, if you need it. Second stage feedback screen. This is something smart. At least you may judge this as smart. Imagine the situation when Dagmar the Queen, you see this person here in this screen, the middle of the screen. Let's imagine that Dagmar the Queen just received for the 4th time the same corrective feedback about not reporting the task completion effectively to you, so you had to wait the 4th time unproductively for getting to know that the task is being completed. And this application will know, the Feedback4Performance application will know that this is the 4th time when, but only when, you have used the same behavior every time. So in this case, the 4 times, and this time the 4th time. And will notify you that this should be the second stage feedback. So you need to make the conversation differently than before if you want to achieve the result, meaning the permanent change modification of the team member behavior. What second stage feedback is, try to find it in, try to Google it out. Managerial tools, manager tools podcast is a good source to get to know more. Or we can just meet at a training. Notifications. Again, this is the way. This may irritate you or may not, but the app will try to get to your brain with whisperings what to do differently about your feedback allocation by the badge, the red number on top of the app logo, or in the notifications scroll down list in your iPhone, or on the dashboard by the envelope I just showed before. And the last slide with the most important dashboard screen. Just coming back to the analogy of race car dashboard with 2 or 3 gauges. Yes, this is about 3 gauges, 3 information sets or sources the app will communicate with you about statistics coming from the information you entered to the app at the time you are giving feedback to your team members. So the biggest gauge, affirmative versus corrective feedback. This is obvious, just shows you the proportion between affirmation and correction in terms of items, positive or negative, given, or offered, or set to your team members. You can change your time perspective from week to month to quarter to year. Obviously, it will work. For example, the quarter perspective will work only if you have been using the application for the last quarter. The rule of thumb for this main gauge is that teams tend to perform better when they receive 2 or 3 times more affirmative feedback items than corrective feedback items. But you will judge this finally. You will modify or not modify your feedback giving behavior, seeing your factual data, there is at least one scenario any smart leader will come up with when offering or giving more correction, more tuning than affirmation makes sense for a limited period of time. So this is just the data shown to you in a easily digestible way, but it's up to you how you will use it for tuning your feedback allocation behavior. The next goals, the bottom right one, feedback per person per week. The rule of thumb is that less than 2 is not effective, less than 1 is absolutely this kind of behavior has no influence on behaviors change dynamics within the team. More than 2 will move you to the right side, of the equation. Will just make you confident that people will focus on their own development and performance gains in the future. The goals on the bottom left, the most complicated by probably the smartest one, the eye-opener. This is the correlation between number of feedback in a specific time frame, like week, month, quarter, year, versus relative net present contribution. This is this contribution thing I explained at the occasion of team screen. So this is the correlation, just correlates 2 rows of data, 2 sets of data, one number of feedbacks given to particular people and the position a given person holds on contribution list. So the correlation is from the arrow tilts to the right between 0 to 1 when the correlation is more than 0, meaning when you tend, when it is on the right, it means that you tend to focus on more on your top performance than on your bottom performance, just making this plainly. The arrow tilts to the left when your efforts go, or you allocate your feedback more to your low performers or people who contribute less than to the people who are high potentials who contribute more. So when your arrow is on the left, the application will patiently remind you, please give more attention to your top performance. So we are approaching the end. I hope this was helpful. I really dream about this app to make you a star leader and your team a bunch of star people, and the outcomes, your performance to overcome your expectations and anyone's expectations. This app is being used by many people, important leaders around the world, and success of this free version is a huge reward and honor for me. But this is going to be as good for you as your quality of data input and the quality of using, the way you will use the app, you will input the application. Just keep in mind the old rule, shit in, shit out. Diamonds in, polished diamonds out. Good luck. Thank you for your attention. I hope it was helpful. I would be honored if you just sent me any ideas, any information, any concepts for improvement, any feedback right now or after some time of using this. Thank you.